Welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts. Are we bringing an accent here?
I don't know.
I don't know. You never know when we're going to bring an accent or not. Today is May 24th, or as you say over there, the 24th of May, 2017. Today is a Wednesday. We have several more things that we want to bring you on the Manchester bombing update, and this one is the tie to Libya.
Exactly. So this was shared. This was a post written by somebody else, shared by Caitlin. Oh my gosh, this article really puts everything in perspective. Faraj says, so what do we do? What do we do about terror? Now
how do we stop it, not just deal with the symptoms after it's happened?
So right now we're dealing with a lot of symptoms that were created by our government. So we, and you especially in Europe and in the UK, you're dealing with an aftermath that your leaders and our leaders created.
Exactly.
Okay? And so it's all coming to light. All of this is being blown up. And actually I want to bring this up. So you don't remember.
So you remember. Forget.
When Clinton says, we came, he died. Okay? So I'm going to play this for you again, and this is really important. Okay.
So, I mean, that is the land of unconfirmed videos. We came, we saw, he died. Did it have anything to do with your visit? No.
We came, we saw, he died. So Gaddafi was the leader that they overthrew in Libya.
And she's so happy and chipper.
It was all part of the whole CIA deep
I was probably covering that up the entire time. I'm so sorry.
Well, you don't need to see her face.
You don't. It's an ugly face she's got. You'd rather see my face.
Okay, so as you know, in the UK, and I'm not picking on my wonderful viewers, but we are covering your country right now. All the stories that have come out from Rotterdam and Rochdale, there's two, right? Where we had all these Muslim grooming gangs.
Yep.
And there was a video clip where, I don't think I brought it up, where a woman said that she saw a suspected woman in Manchester.
Yeah, I don't know if you brought that up, but that was really, and I'll try to find that link again and put it in the description here.
I have
because it was really
in my messages
telling that she was like, listen, I was watching this woman, and she kept looking at the area where the bombing actually did happen, and she was antsy and she was fidgeting and all this stuff. I'm just telling it to me, I don't have to bring it up.
Okay.
She was fidgeting and she was really upset, and so she reported it to the security there, and they accused her of racially profiling. Right. You know, like what if this was, happening to you, or what if somebody was racially profiling you? And moments before the blast went off, that suspicious woman, she had the bag, left and disappeared.
Right. So your government there is even more politically correct than our government. Kate Hopkins tweeted out something and she's being investigated. Everybody's being investigated. You have to watch your mouth because you don't want to offend the Muslims.
As a matter of fact, if you watch Paul Joseph Watson's recent video again, I will try to put this in here, he pretty much lays it out and he's like, listen, we have become more sensitive to being politically correct and not hurting people's feelings than we have for people who have actually been blown up.
So this is where this comes in. The UK proscribed terrorist organization, the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, the LIFG, maintains a large presence
in Manchester
area and is now being linked to the recent blast. So, as Nigel Farage just said, there's over 3,000 guys that you have on this watch list, and I want to know why they're still in the country. There's 18,000 on a terror watch list in Belgium alone.
Well, Faraj was saying that there's people that are saying, let's have these people rounded up and put them into camps, and Faraj says, well, you can't exactly do that. I say you can send them somewhere else. And I know a lot of you, they're UK born and stuff like that. Listen, I have no problem, and I'm sorry, maybe this sounds altruistic or whatever, but seriously, if somebody has known, like, they're making statements like, I want to blow people up, or I wish people should die, like, you don't get to do that. I don't think that that's covered under freedom of speech in a country that has already suffered so many attacks like this.
Well, when you follow these links, you'd see why they're not these particular suspects. It says, as suspected, and as was the case in virtually all recent terror attacks carried out in Europe, including both in France and Belgium, the suspect involved in the recent Manchester blast, which killed 22 people, was previously known to the British intelligence agencies. The Telegraph, in its article, Salman Abedi, named as the Manchester suicide bomber, what we know, would report, He was reportedly known to security services, is thought to have returned from Libya as recently as
this week. Dude, he came back, boom, done.
And there's a security camera where he got $250 of cash out, and he went and then there's a picture of him entering in with like a new backpack with like a tag on it. So he like bought the new backpack, right? So while initial reports attempted to craft a narrative focused on a lone wolf, and this was really, it's sickening to my stomach because one of these main Democrat senators was like, we have to get used to this. These are just lone wolves, and
they're not. He got back from Libya and he had just been radicalized and they sent him back.
Right.
I don't know if we can bring up the dates that I was telling you about, but somebody had sent me a picture and shoot. I can't remember which one of you it was.
Get to it.
Okay, all right.
So the lone wolf attacker who organized and executed the blast himself, the nature of the improvised explosive device used and the details of the attack revealed what was certainly an operation carried out by someone who has either acquired militant experience through direct contact with a terrorist organization or was directed by a terrorist organization. Somebody knew how to put this together.
Exactly.
This 22-year-old did not have this expertise. Now, a thriving terrorist community in the midst of Manchester. The same Telegraph article would also admit that a group of Gaddafi dissidents who were members of the outlawed Libyan Islamic fighting group, the LIGF, which we're talking about, FG, lived within close proximity to Abedi in Whaley Range. Among them was Abd al-Baset Azuzi. You know what? They have hard names to pronounce just so that we can't identify them.
That's very
a father
true.
of four from Manchester who left Britain to run a terrorist network in Libya.
Right.
Overseen by Ayman al-Zawahiri, Osama bin Laden's successor as a leader of Al-Qaeda. Okay? So you have to be able to go into, like, I can't even imagine a Christian church, right? Where everybody's going to this church and one of our church members goes to go work for Osama bin Laden. You know what I mean? And we're all connected. I mean, it's just...
This is very reaching here.
I know I'm reaching.
I know.
They're all part of like the same mosque.
I know. It takes a very extreme stretch of the imagination because this is not normal. Normal people don't do this stuff.
The successor, we're talking about the successor of Osama bin Laden. We're talking...
Right.
So Azuz, 48, an expert bomb maker, was accused of running an Al-Qaeda network in eastern Libya. The Telegraph reported that in 2014 that Azuz had 200 to 300 militants under his control and was an expert in bomb making, right? So this guy who's known, he's part of the community.
Right.
Obviously, they know each other. They're the same mosque, same thing going on. He goes to Libya. He's going to go hang out with this dude who makes bombs. Hello? Another member of the Libyan community in Manchester, Salah Ali Baba, told Channel 4 News in 2011 that he had been fundraising for the Libyan dudes while in the city. Baba had claimed he had raised funds at Disbury Mosque, the same mosque attended by Abedi. Okay? Thus, the required experience for the recent Manchester attack exists in abundance within the community's Libyan
Islamic Fighting Group, the LIFG,
is in fact a proscribed terrorist group listed as such by the UK's government in 2005 and still appears on its list. But then actually they took it off the list. It's so weird. So the accompanying government list states explicitly regarding the LIFG that the LIFG seeks to replace the current Libyan regime with a hardline Islamic State. The group is also part of the wider global Islamic extremist movement, and as inspired by Al-Qaeda, the group has mounted several operations inside Libya, including a 1996 attempt to assassinate Gaddafi. So we used these guys to assassinate and get Gaddafi gone. These crazy people who blow up UK children.
Right. I think this next paragraph is really important. It says, thus, astoundingly, according to the Telegraph, a thriving community of listed terrorists exists knowingly in the midst of the British public without any intervention by the UK government, security, or intelligence agencies, with members regularly traveling abroad and participating in armed conflict and terrorist activities before apparently returning home. Not only without being incarcerated, but apparently also without even being closely monitored.
So here's the thing.
This is crazy.
If we're not going to have... See, here's the thing, and we're living in this kind of age, right? And if you're not going to round everybody up...
Yeah, you need to closely monitor them.
You know what? You got to...
You don't get to travel abroad. You got constraints here.
Rand Paul's messages are being hacked. They hacked
Right.
into Flynn.
Right,
You
exactly.
mean you can hack into Flynn talking
But
to
you
Russia?
can't monitor some people that are saying they want to blow people up.
Seriously.
I mean, come on, guys. This is absolutely ridiculous.
So the LIFG also appears on the United States Department list of foreign terrorist organizations. Astoundingly, it appears under a section titled Delisted Foreign Terrorist Organizations and indicates that it was removed as recently as 2015. This is where I meant that it had been removed. So on the U.S. State Department's website in 2012, this is really crazy, you guys. In 2007, Al-Qaeda, it says, on November 3rd, 2007, Al-Qaeda leader al-Zawahiri announced a formal merger between Al-Qaeda and the LIFG. However, on July 3rd, 2009, the LIFG members in the United Kingdom released a statement formally disavowing any association with Al-Qaeda. So we believe them, and now we're going to use them, and now we're buddies now, okay?
Right, it's ridiculous.
The report also makes mention of the LIFG's role in the U.S.-led NATO regime change operations in Libya in 2011. In early 2011, in the wake of the Libyan revolution and the fall of Gaddafi, the IFLIF members created the LIF successor group, the Libyan Islamic Movement for Change.
The LIMC.
And became one of many rebel groups united under the umbrella of the opposition leadership known as the Transitional National Council. The former LIFG emir and LIMC leader Abdul blah 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 was appointed the Libyan Transitional Council's Tripoli military command. We put in ISIS as the head, okay? This is it.
Yeah.
These guys, the Manchester bomber is tied to these guys. He went to Libya, he trained with these guys. Guys, we put in place who are radical Islamic terrorists who hold to the hardest line of Islamic terror, who blow you up. We're in bed with the terrorists trying to kill us. Now, if that doesn't say deep state, that doesn't say the craziest crazy, nothing in the world does. Indeed, look at this picture. Look at this picture. Indeed, a literal
John
senior
McCain.
Al-Qaeda affiliate leader would head the regime put in power by the U.S.-led military operations, which includes British forces. And you've got John McCain here, right here with, let's see, not only this, but prominent U.S. politicians would even travel to Libya to personally offer support to the Bilaj. In one notorious image, Senator McCain is seen shaking hands and offering a gift to the terrorist leader in the wake of the Libyan government's collapse. The U.S. State Department's report regarding the LIFG ends with information about its era of operation, claiming since the late 1990s, many members have fled to Southeast Asian European countries, particularly the UK. For the residents of Manchester, the British government appears to have categorically failed to inform them of the threat living openly in their midst, while the British population is divided and distracted with a more general strategy of tension focused on Islam's mamas. And I get this. I get what they're like, Islamophobia on both sides. Do you see what's happening here? All right, this is a very specific threat. The Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, British Intelligence and Security this is from The Guardian, 2011. British Intelligence and Security Service interest in Libya has focused for 20 years on the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, whether it was opposing Muammar Gaddafi and working with Al-Qaeda, later renouncing its old jihadi worldview,
Right.
or taking part in the armed uprising that has now overthrown the regime. The article in reality is nothing more than an attempt to portray a listed terrorist organization as reformed instead of increased public awareness regarding the true nature of Libya's U.S. and British-backed rebels. It's the same thing that's happened in Syria. If we don't wake up soon,
Right.
we're going to see more and more. We are seeing this because our government, our CIA created this. They want a war.
Yes.
They
They're
want
going
war.
to make it happen one
And
way or the other.
It's all about gas lines, the petrodollar, oil, and remember, you've got Cheney, who's ties to Halliburton. These weapons contractors, these military dudes, they make money.
On
If there's
war.
no war, if there's
no
no
money.
missiles, they make millions of dollars per
Right.
missile. They pocket these. These are to enrich elitist lives, to have these wars and to
Right.
have these bullets. So I'm going to go ahead and also link to this article
article.
because we unfortunately don't have time to go over all of it, but I'm going to go back to the end. What is surprising is that the Western public continues to react emotionally to each terrorist attack individually rather than rationally, seeing the much bigger picture and pattern. And until the Western public sees the bigger picture and pattern, fear, injustice, murder, and mayhem will continue to dominate their lives and their futures. I do not believe that, like Democrats are saying, if Donald Trump's crackdown on terror is going to cause more terrorists, and it goes, and we need to just accept all these things. No, we have to stop going in. It's like you went into a nest of fire ants, and then you spread them, and then they're going all over the world.
Right.
Whereas if we hadn't gone into Libya, we hadn't gone in and destabilized all the Middle East, then their fire ants are just going to bite each other, and they're not going to come bite us.
Right. And I want to go back to, because I actually had a dream about this after it was sent to us by Lindy Lou on our Resistance Chicks, and she shows the dates. And I love that you guys do your dates, I would say correctly, we don't, with the actual day on the left. You're not going to be able to see it, or I guess it's, yeah, your left, right here. But it says that on 22/05/13, we had the Lee Rigsby attacked and killed. 22/03/16, we had the Brussels attack. 22/07/16, we had the Munich attack. 22/03/17, the London attack. 22/05/17, the Manchester attack. And 22/07, which hasn't happened yet, 17, there's question marks because there is this pattern, 537-357, and they're all on the 22s, okay? And so there really is something to be looked at. These people, if it was
Dates
a
are
lone wolf,
incredibly important to Islam.
are you feeling me here? If it was a lone wolf, there would be a lot of coordinating for people to say, hey, I'm going to do this on the 22nd, a really, really big one. And these are the ones that are actually getting through. There are so many terror attacks that get thwarted all of the time, hundreds of them. So the fact that that one made it through, I think, is very, on those specific dates, it's very telling, I think.
Okay.
All right, you guys, we're going to sign this one off here. This is Leah Michelle, where it is for Resistance Chicks, where it is not just a conspiracy theory, if it's actually the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring that bell for notifications. Find us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We love you, God loves you, and God bless.
You get another video if our battery lasts.
Yeah.
I was cold all alone. No place for